What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing another RIX optic scope. This is the Storm S3. Last month we reviewed the Tor T20, which completely exceeded my expectations. You can find that review video on my YouTube channel as well as hunting footage posted on my Facebook page. We're probably going to do that same kind of thing here and put the review on YouTube and the hunting footage on Facebook due to YouTube's guidelines and yada yada yada. So we're going to jump right in here. We're going to see what's in this box. We're going to run through some of the settings and the menu and give you guys all the information you need to know to make your decision on whether or not this is the scope for you. So just a fair warning, this is not a first time unboxing. I did open this scope up the other day. This thing is super small, and as I said in the Tor video, and also said the same thing about my Leap L3, I do not run the eyepiece. So the first thing I do is take that thing right off. If you guys already night hunt, you probably already know that if you're standing there all night scanning with your rifle, it really starts to wear down on your neck and your back. So as small as this is, this would be really good to have in a chest rig or something like that, where you can just scan. You don't have to worry about being hunched over. So let's check out this box and see what else we got in here. All right, so we've got a warranty card, we've got a quick start guide, and a full user manual. And it says user manual v2.0, so this must be an updated manual. They might have updated the software or something, so they needed to update the manual to match that software. Comes with a neoprene scope cover and also has a Velcro band, so when you put it on, you kind of wrap it under the scope and hold it tight to better protect your investment. We've got some thermal targets here. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. So these things come in handy, especially if you plan on putting this on multiple rifles. You're definitely going to want to set up different profiles. So you're going to need a bunch of these. We've got a microfiber cleaning cloth there. We've got a throw lever here, which is extremely nice. So basically what this is going to do is attach to your focus ring right here, and that is going to allow you to just reach up there and throw that focus wherever you need it. These things are really easy to grip. It's got some good knurling on there and some raised sections, so you're not going to have any problems finding that if you don't put on the throw lever. But man, if you ever use a throw lever, you won't want to go back. We've also got an 18650, which is awesome. I love that everybody's switching to 18650s. You know, if you buy a couple of these, you can keep them on the charger, take them with you. If you do happen to run out of battery, you just swap that bad boy out. But these scopes have a pretty long life. You usually don't need more than one battery. So this is something that I'm extremely excited about. This is your scope mount. So you can see how thin and low profile this bad boy is. So basically what happens is you've got some screw holes right there on the bottom of your scope. You can see 4 there and 3 here, which means this gives you a little bit of adjustment back and forth. You've got a groove right there that just sits in that groove. You get it where you want it, bolt it down, and then set it on top of your rifle, snap it forward, and it's got a little locking mechanism right here that keeps it from accidentally getting pushed out. Now this is especially helpful if you run multiple rifles and you like to move your scope from one rifle to the next. You just take that bad boy off, put this on your next rifle, change your profile in your scope, you're ready to go out and kill some coyotes. And of course we've got the dual bay RIX branded battery charger here. Comes with a USB-C cable. We won't be needing that right now. So for demonstration purposes, we have put the eye cup back on just so you guys can tell which way is the front of the scope. But our external features are going to be the battery compartment here, which has a pretty cool easy off cap. You just spin the cap and it pops right off. And then there is a little line right there that you line it up with, push it down, spin it, it's back on. So really quick and easy to change out your battery. You've got 5 buttons here on the top. I'll get to those in a second. You've got a power button and a USB-C charging port. I believe you can use that as a data port too, but I can't be certain there just yet. And again, you've got your focus ring up here on the front, and I've put the throw lever here so you can see just how easy it is to reach up there and adjust your focus. You've also got an eyepiece diopter right here, which has some knurling even on the eye cup, so you can just reach up there and adjust your focus for your eyepiece. All of RIX scopes that I've dealt with so far come with a really nice flip open lens cover. You just push that button and it flies open. If you push it just a little bit further, it's got a little click right there, and what that does is keeps it from kind of closing on you even if the spring breaks on it for whatever reason. I also went ahead and put on the scope mount here, and you can see just how low profile that is, which is going to bring the center of your scope down closer to the center of your bore. So for the 5 buttons we have on the top here, we're going to have a menu button, zoom, pixel correction, image mode, and this button in the back is going to start your video recording. And again, you have a power button right here, which is also going to play into your menu, which we will get into that later. So I'm going to run through some of the specifications of this guy. I'm not going to hit all of them, just the ones that I know you're going to care about. First of all, this thing is super light and comes in at just under 1 pound. So for battery life, RIX is calling for 6 hours of battery life out of 118/650. So if you plan on going hunting all night, make sure you take 2 batteries. Base magnification is 3.5 times and goes up to 14 times. The manual does say that it is optical zoom. I cannot confirm or deny that, but I will say that it only has 3 settings. It's going to be base magnification, middle, which is 7 times, and 14 times, which is going to be your highest magnification. This scope does have Wi-Fi, which means you can hook it to the app on your phone and you can see what the scope sees. You can easily play back videos that you've recorded, and you can even download those videos to your device so you don't have to plug it in directly. As far as storage goes, it does come with 32 gigabytes of built-in storage, so that should be plenty to get you through the night. The sensor resolution is 384 by 288, so you are going to get superior image quality out of this guy. So you're going to have the option to choose from a wide variety of reticles, and you're going to have 4 different image modes, and that's going to be white hot, black hot, red hot, and color. So one of the bigger things, and I've mentioned this a couple times before, but you do have the ability to store multiple profiles. So for example, say you've got a 223, 6.5 Grendel, and a 224 Valkyrie. So you can put this on each one of those guns, save it into a separate profile, and if you want to switch this gun from your 6.5 Grendel to your 5.56, then you just take it off, put it on there, switch to the correct profile, and you should be good to go. I do recommend checking your zero to make sure that it is still on, but you should be extremely close. So we're going to go ahead and give you a short tour of the menu, and then we are going to take this guy out to hunt and come back with a full review. Alright, so you have 2 different menus here. To get to the first menu, you're going to just tap your menu button, and your top button is going to be your contrast. I found that number 4 is pretty good. The right button is going to be how you choose your different reticles. We are going to select number 5. The left button, you will be able to choose the color of your reticle, and I like white with a red dot. The bottom button is going to be your overall screen brightness, and 4 is going to be perfect. So we can hit exit, and if you push and hold the menu button, it brings a whole nother menu. So your top button is going to be for your Wi-Fi, your left button is going to be for your pixel correction, your right button is going to be to sight in a profile, the bottom button is going to be to select your profile for your gun. It is really easy to sight this gun in. You just go here, you shoot, and then you're going to put your reticle back on your point of aim, and you're going to freeze it, and then once you freeze it, you can move your reticle to the point of impact and save it, and that is going to be your profile for that rifle. I'm going to make a whole nother video on how to sight in this scope, so stay tuned for that. It will be posted on Facebook because obviously YouTube does not like that kind of content. Across the bottom, you're going to be able to see your profile, which is going to be the second to the left, the current magnification, whether or not your Wi-Fi is on, and the time and the battery level on the bottom right. So I'm going to get this bad boy mounted up, and we're going to take it out and hunt with it this weekend. We're going to come back here and give you guys the final review. Okay, so now that we have some hours behind this thing, let's go over some likes and dislikes. First off, I am extremely impressed with the visual quality and picture quality of this scope. Comparing it to my Leap L3, which has about a $500 higher price tag, this thing is pretty dang close. The L3 definitely has an edge, but we aren't here to compare models. This scope has a feature called Resolution Enhancement Technology, or RET, which uses AI to enhance the picture quality, and it also has 2 weather modes, which allows you to switch between sunny and rainy, which I'm guessing is going to help you out in different humidity levels. Unfortunately, I didn't use either of those 2 features during my hunt, but I will make a separate video and post it on Facebook so you guys can see the differences in those modes. Picture-in-picture works okay. I've never really been a big fan of picture-in-picture, but if you're into that type of thing, all you have to do to toggle it on and off is to long press your zoom button. And one thing to note is that once you toggle on the picture-in-picture, your zoom only controls the picture-in-picture. If you want to change the zoom in the scope, you're going to have to toggle off the picture-in-picture, change the zoom of the scope, and then turn your picture-in-picture back on. Another thing to note is the picture-in-picture does have the capability of zooming between 7 times and 28 times, which is pretty impressive. Next is going to be the zoom. I'm a little bit on the fence about the zoom. I do like the 3.5 times magnification. It seems to work pretty well at all different ranges, although I do wish it was a little bit lower. Maybe a 2.5 times magnification for your base would allow you to hunt a lot shorter distances and give you a little bit wider of a field of view. Also, I would like to see a little bit more variable of a zoom. Currently, the options is base magnification, which is 3.5 times. Your next level up is 7 times, and the next level up is 14 times. Having said all that, the current zoom settings is absolutely not a deal breaker. They did work out very well for me. So next we're going to talk about the battery. I'm very pleased with the battery life. We had about 5 hours of scope time, and I wound up somewhere between the 20% and 30% mark at the end of the night. That is pretty close to RIX advertised 6 hours of battery life. I did carry an extra battery with me just in case, but I was pleasantly surprised that I did not need one. Next is the sight-in process. Sighting in these scopes is an absolute breeze. I did post a video on my Facebook page of the whole process, but folks, it really can't get easier than that. So I see a lot of people asking about rangefinder capabilities and if these scopes have a built-in rangefinder. The simple answer to that is no. None of RIX thermals at this time have built-in rangefinders, and the only one that has the capability at this time that I know of is the Leap series. The Storm series does not have Bluetooth, therefore it cannot communicate with the Bluetooth rangefinder. It does have a wide variety of reticles that can be used for ranging if you know what you're doing. So if a rangefinder or ballistic calculations are important to you, then you are going to need to step up to the Leap series. So is this scope going to be right for you? Well, that depends. For most people, especially when it comes to thermals, the determining factor is price. At right around $1,800, this scope is going to do everything you need to do and then some to hunt. The picture quality is at a very nice spot in the middle of the road, and in my opinion, the only thing missing from this scope is Bluetooth and rangefinder capabilities. And if you want a scope with those features that has the same picture quality, you're going to have to step up to the L3, and that's going to run you about another $500. Plus the rangefinder is going to be another $500. So if you can live without the rangefinder, $1,800 versus $2,800, that's kind of a no-brainer. Although I am a huge fan of the ballistic calculator, which I will go over in my video on the L3. So pound for pound, dollar for dollar, this thing is on point. I'm extremely impressed with it, and I think you will be too. So if you guys have any questions about this scope, please feel free to leave me a comment below, or you can message me on Facebook and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time in Rob's Man Cave.